Hey guys, this is Mr. Oxy. It's Rudy saying hi for Best Your Investor. I've been away for a couple of days. I've been busy on a project that I'm working on. It is Tuesday, September the 15th. Oxy is trading at about $10.60 or thereabouts. It's up 5% today, which is a nice change from the past week where it was down almost every single day. I did a little bit of research during the time I was busy working on my project and picked up a couple of uh, items that I thought I'd plug into a SWOT analysis, and I thought to share that with you. So this is going to be like a 10-minute SWOT. I'm pretty sure probably most of the people watching this video are familiar with the SWOT. Your strengths and your weaknesses are usually internal to your organization, and your opportunities and your threats are external to the organization. So let's take a look and sort of see what I came up with in terms of Oxy for a 10-minute SWOT. Firstly, the strengths for me, from a personal point of view, Carl Icahn as a major shareholder, I think it'll be fair to say if Carl says I'm no longer interested in Occidental Petroleum, then I would be very concerned, and I would be probably very likely to say, well, then maybe I'm not interested in Occidental either. But for now, he's there, and for long as he's there and he's got his couple of people on the board, that for me is a significant strength as an investor. Oxy has a strong market position. In the US, fourth largest currently, which is a strong position to be in. Obviously, there are a lot of companies in the United States in the energy sector, geographically nice and diverse as well, with drilling facilities in Latin America, Middle East, and of course we know about Africa too. Fair size company, 15,000 employees or thereabout. That's a strength too. These people are well trained and highly skilled people. Nice revenue growth possible because of the steady increases in oil and gas reserves, not only through its own efforts but also through acquisition. So a little bit of inorganic growth there when you think of the acquisition of Anadarko as an example. And I think everybody is aware of the fact that Oxy is strong from an operational performance point of view. They're very efficient. They definitely are a low cost operator. The other thing that's interesting about Occidental is they have OxyChem, which is driving a lot of free cash flow. That's a strength as well. About the weaknesses. So I have no doubt in my mind today, having sort of followed the Oxy executive management's interaction or lack thereof over the past few months or so, they are absolutely unable to effectively communicate and create some compelling narratives for the stock. I mean, they're just not in the forefront of getting the message out and sharing with the market all the good things that they're doing. Occidental does have some lack of scale, even though they're the fourth largest in the United States. Their major competitors, including on an international basis, are much larger in size. I shared with you on a previous video that I also am invested in a number of other energy companies, and one of the sort of linked companies is Total from France. So the market cap for Total is almost 10 times the size of Occidental's current market cap, and they're both undervalued. So it's not as if Oxy took a hit and Total did not. So the major competitors, especially on an international scale, are much larger in size, have more assets, more operations, etc. So coupled with that point is Occidental's concentration or almost dependence on the US market. So everything you hear about Occidental is related to the Permian Basin. So we're not really seeing much of the revenue accruing from other nations or operations in other nations. This does definitely expose Occidental to more domestic risk as well on a macro level. And then declining operational efficiency. This I added in there because it is more related to the acquisition. Oxy was very efficient as a low-cost operator before acquiring Anadarko. The two companies are obviously of similar size. I'm not sure they've done a good job integrating the assets yet. How about the opportunities? Okay, I mean, this is pretty good news. And this is, again, tied to the fact that the executive management's not getting out there telling the story. But Oxy Low Carbon Ventures is a great story, especially for the younger generation. The millennials are very focused on green energy and renewable energy and all that kind of good stuff. And Oxy has a very compelling story to share about low carbon ventures, but they're not doing it efficiently. Another opportunity, obviously, is the expansion of operations, not only in the Middle East, but also in Africa. There's been an increase in domestic natural gas demand. This is not just for home heating and cooling, but also from a commercial point of view. And then Oxy has a whole variety of different initiatives that can diversify its portfolio further and drive new revenues. Threats. The commodity prices are completely beyond Occidental's control. So it's, as I said, it's nice to see them trading a little higher today. It's a 5% uptick as I'm making this video. We'll have to see where it goes, but anyway, that's good news. It's nice to see. They share the same exploration risks as everybody else in their industry. This is a huge one for me, the political instability, the upcoming US election. You know, if Trump had to win, you could probably assume it's kind of business as usual. If Biden had to win, firstly, then we don't know who the president's going to be, and secondly, we have no idea what the radical left component of the Democrat Party will look to do in terms of the Green New Deal and all that kind of stuff. Not taking into consideration that 99% of the cars are still burning fossil fuels with combustion engines, and in addition to that, almost 100% of industry is driven by fossil fuels. So we're a long way from being green. Oxy's making great strides in this regard, but political instability is a huge problem. And then, of course, tied with what I just said, environmental compliance and regulations. For as long as Oxy is very focused on the domestic market and generating most of its revenue and most of its production out of the Permian Basin, you are effectively, regardless of how many business regulations President Trump wants to remove, you are basically stuck between regulations related to the federal government, the Environmental Protection Agency, your state government, your local county, your cities, whatever, setbacks for wells, all kinds of things that you have to deal with if you're in the United States. The United States, despite being the land of the brave and the free, is probably the most regulated economy in the world. So if people do business outside of the United States, for example, in developing areas like South America, Africa, Asia, they have very little regulations. And even if they're doing business in Europe, they are not as hamstrung by political interference and regulations as what we are in the United States. So this is definitely a threat because you never know what's going to happen next, in addition to the fact that there's an election coming up. So in closing, I thought, as usual, I'll try to find some good news. My source here is Pavel from Shutterstock, and I just looked at a comment that he posted very recently. I think it was from the end of August. All is not lost. We are close to the bottom. Well, that'd be great. You know, I'm not brave enough to forecast, but he does make mention of the fact that Occidental is trading at under 43% of its net tangible book value per share. We all know it's undervalued. We just don't know where it's going. But Pavel says there is good reason to believe that as the economy turns around, the price of oil will rise, moving Occidental's cash flow prospects higher. So on that good positive note, that is your 10-minute SWOT for Occidental, and a positive comment to close it off with. As I said, it's trading higher, 5% up today, so that's positive as well. I managed to get the entire presentation wrapped up in under 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back more with some info soon on Occidental. So for now, this is Rudy, Mr. Oxy, signing off. Take care and be safe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.